Thank you, Erin. Well, first of all, I want to share with you the questions asked. Unfortunately, we don't have time to do all the questions. There are quite a lot. So I select a couple of them because it's, well, against the deadline. The first one is for Professor Olesen. I hope he's still available. One of the questions is the test of perceived air quality still used by you?
Yes, it is. We do it not only for testing air cleaners, yes, but it is. And in fact, what we are planning in the annex is to try to get a test done in 4 different countries to see, look at the accuracy and similarities. So we want, and it's not a real round robin because we will have different chambers and so, but we will evaluate tests done in different countries.
Thank you. At this moment, I skipped the other questions, but I want to point out to all the other people that of course the presentations will be available. So probably there are also links into which will give quite a lot of answers. Then I go to Professor Andreas Wagner, and I think also some questions. I think interesting question is no evidence for, oh no, that is the wrong question because it's to Laura Itar, but she has to leave early.
I answered that. I already answered that.
Answered that. That's
yeah.
Great.
Actually, there are some questions which haven't been put as questions, but as answers, so I cannot answer them. That was a problem.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, yeah. But can you comment it? Because that's the question, in fact.
Excuse me?
Can you comment it? Because there is, well,
okay. Yeah.
Yes?
So I was only showing that this review paper by Madavi did not show evidence on the role of occupants for performance gap. There certainly is an influence, but it has to be proven and assessed more thoroughly by future studies. So, and I refer to the paper. This paper is available, so people should read the paper and see.
That's a good answer. Read the papers, yes. And the second question, I think it's interesting. I suppose the question is, do you have psychologists? It's difficult to give people psychologists working in the annex, I suppose.
Yeah, we have psychologists and socialists working with us.
They're also in the papers, of course. Thank you. Yeah. Then I've got a question for Peter. Peter, are you there?
I'm here. Yes.
Yes.
I can see the question. Yes.
Yes.
Indeed, we do have, for example, from that's not a Dutch national project, but from Movistar, we have, for example, a guide on all kind of occupant profiles. Yeah, also all the deliverables from these projects, you can find them on the websites. So we do have these guidelines.
Okay, thank you. And the last one for Manuela. Manuela, can you see the question? Do you have to speak it out?
I think it's the level of insulation is compared with the rest. So in mild climates. So in mild climates like in Portugal where I am, it's the level of insulation is much less than the in the northern countries, of course, and our in the south countries, for instance, and we have in our project persons from Portugal, Spain, and Italy, and we have a bigger problem that it is cooling, and so the high levels of insulation is not too good. Too good for cooling. So it is indeed very important for us, for the mild climates also, to have this renewable energy sources to deal with this cooling problem, that it is our major problem here. not insulation.
Yeah, that's clear. Well, thank you for this question. So I'm now stop sharing. That's more convenient probably for everybody. And this is, we're now entering the end of this webinar. And first of all, of course, I do want to thank people, of course, the speakers for the presentations. I do want to, you have to look at the paper, sorry. And surely I do want to thank the organization on the background because they were really helpful. I do want to thank the presentation from Solar Heating and Cooling. And surely I want to thank Mrs. Costanza from the EAI to be here and to tell about the EAA and all what's happening there. Well, and that's it. And then giving a wrap up of all what is presented, that's, I must say, that's quite difficult. It shows the world of energy buildings and community is quite broad and also important. And even when you stick to the subject of reducing the performance gap, it's still a broad field. And what it brings to me personally is that at the end, we do all want to have a more sustainable built environment. So it's not only a gap between design and real operation, but it is how to fill the gap between what we know and what we realize in the practical world. And this is, I suppose, this is for all of us an interesting subject and worth working on, but also sometimes a bit hard. At the end, I've got a practical sheet to show, and I have to go to this sheet. The webinar will be recorded and published at this address. And when we close the webinar, you will be redirected to a survey. And please take a couple of minutes to fill in the survey because it helps EBC and the organization to learn and to make it even better. So this is my final sheet. I all wish you a good and hopefully safe summer, or maybe even for some persons winter, I don't know. And have a pleasant morning, evening, whatever. Thank you. Bye.